Our world is filled with objects we use every day, so familiar they become almost invisible. We rarely stop to question their design, assuming every curve and feature is either for aesthetics or just the way it's always been. But what if these mundane items are hiding secrets in plain sight? What if the features we dismiss as mistakes or decorations are actually feats of brilliant engineering, born from necessity and clever problem solving? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 10 everyday objects to reveal their hidden genius. Prepare to see the world around you in a whole new way. Number 10. The airplane window pinhole. Imagine you're soaring at 35,000 feet, cruising above a sea of clouds. You glance out the window at the curved horizon and notice a tiny, perfectly drilled hole at the bottom of the pane. It might look like a manufacturing defect, a tiny flaw in the otherwise seamless design. But that little hole is a genius piece of engineering that is actively working to keep you safe. Airplane windows are not a single sheet of glass. They are a complex sandwich of 3 separate acrylic layers. The innermost pane is essentially a scratch guard, protecting the more important layers from the cabin. The outer pane is the structural workhorse, designed to bear the immense pressure difference between the cabin and the thin air outside. The middle pane acts as a failsafe. That tiny hole, known as a bleed hole, is located in that middle pane. Its primary job is to manage the incredible pressure. It allows the pressure to equalize between the cabin and the air gap between the middle and outer panes. This ensures that the outer pane takes on almost all the pressurization load, which it's designed for. Without that hole, the middle pane could be subjected to forces it was never meant to handle. Furthermore, the hole serves a secondary, more comfortable purpose. It allows moisture trapped between the panes to vent out, preventing the window from fogging or frosting over. It's like a tiny, built-in dehumidifier that ensures you always have a clear view of the world below. This single tiny hole is a masterclass in managing extreme physics while ensuring passenger safety and comfort. Number 9. The accidental invention of bubble wrap. Our story begins in a dusty garage in 1957 New Jersey. 2 inventors, Alfred Fielding and Marc Chevans, had what they thought was a brilliant idea. They wanted to create a revolutionary 3D textured wallpaper. Their concept involved fusing 2 plastic shower curtains together, trapping air bubbles in between to create a unique, bumpy texture for the walls of modern homes. But their invention was a spectacular flop. The wallpaper was difficult to apply and simply didn't catch on. Most inventors would have tossed the failed prototype and moved on. But they looked at their strange sheet of plastic bubbles and saw potential beyond interior design. Their timing was perfect. The computer industry was in its infancy, and companies were searching for a way to safely ship their massive, fragile, and incredibly expensive machines. IBM became one of the first to see the potential. The air-filled bubbles with a perfect cushion, creating a lightweight, shock-absorbent material that was cheap to produce. It could protect delicate electronics from the bumps and drops of transit like nothing else. Before settling on shipping, the inventors brainstormed over 400 other uses, including using it as insulation for greenhouses. But its true destiny was to become the guardian of fragile goods. Its satisfying pop, a beloved side effect of its primary protective purpose. Number 8. The padlock's bottom hole. Take a close look at almost any outdoor padlock. At the very bottom, near the keyhole, you'll find another tiny hole. This isn't a factory mistake or a secret way to pick the lock. It's a critical feature that ensures the padlock's survival and longevity. Most padlocks live a hard life, exposed to the elements. They endure pouring rain, biting snow, and humid summer air. Without this tiny hole, the lock's casing would act like a miniature bucket, trapping water inside. This moisture would quickly lead to rust and corrosion, seizing the intricate internal mechanisms and rendering the lock useless. That tiny hole, however, acts as a drain, allowing any water that gets inside to flow right back out, keeping the lock's inner workings dry and functional. But its job doesn't end there. The hole is also a secret maintenance port. When a lock gets stiff and the key becomes difficult to turn, this hole is your best friend. A quick squirt of lubricant, like graphite or oil, directly into this opening allows the lubricant to flow deep into the lock's mechanism, coating the pins and springs you can't otherwise reach. It's a simple, elegant solution that saves you from having to disassemble the lock or buy a new one. It prevents freezing in winter and corrosion in summer, all with one tiny, unassuming hole. Number 7. The tape measure's hidden tools. The humble tape measure is a staple of any toolbox, but its most useful features are often overlooked. That small metal hook at the end, known as the tang, is more than just a simple stopper. First, look closely at the slot cut into it. This isn't just for decoration. It's designed to securely hook onto the head of a nail or screw. This allows a single person to make long, accurate measurements without needing a second pair of hands. You can hook it onto a nail and walk away, confident that the tape will hold firm. Next, notice the serrated, rough bottom edge of the tang. This is a built-in marking tool. If you're up on a ladder and realize you've forgotten your pencil, simply press down firmly and drag the serrated edge across the surface. It will create a small, clear mark, perfect for indicating where to cut or drill. It's a simple feature that shows the designers were thinking about real-world job site conditions. Finally, you may have noticed that the metal tang is slightly loose, designed to slide back and forth by about a millimeter. This isn't a defect. It's a brilliant feature that compensates for the thickness of the tang itself. When you're taking an outside measurement, you hook the tang on the edge and it slides out. When you're taking an inside measurement, you push it against a surface and it slides in. That tiny movement is precisely the thickness of the metal tongue, ensuring your measurements are perfectly accurate, whether you're measuring from the inside or the outside. Number 6. The tiny Zhang pocket. Almost every pair of blue jeans has one. That small, seemingly useless pocket nestled inside the larger front right pocket. Today, it might hold coins, a guitar pick, or just lint. But back in 1873, when Levi Strauss was designing the first iconic blue jeans, this tiny pocket served a very specific and important purpose. It was a watch pocket. In the 19th century, before wristwatches became common, men carried pocket watches. These were often valuable, delicate items, the equivalent of a modern smartphone. Miners, cowboys, and laborers needed a secure place to store their timepieces while they worked. The standard large pockets were too deep and loose, allowing the watch to be damaged or fall out. Levi Strauss designed this small, snug pocket specifically to hold a pocket watch securely. It was deep enough to keep the watch safe, but shallow enough for easy access. To make it even more durable, the pocket was reinforced with copper rivets, the same ones found on the corners of the main pockets, ensuring it could withstand the rigors of daily use. Today, the pocket watch is a relic of the past, but this small piece of history remains on our jeans, a testament to its original practical design. Number 5. The bobby pin's wavy line. The bobby pin is a simple tool, but using it correctly requires knowing its secret. Look closely at one, and you'll see that one side is flat and straight, while the other is wavy and corrugated. Many people assume the design is purely aesthetic, but that wavy side is a clever grip system. Those waves act like tiny teeth, designed to grab and hold strands of hair. Think of it like the tread on a car tire. It's there to provide traction and prevent slipping. For maximum effectiveness, the wavy side of the bobby pin should always face down against the scalp. This allows the ridges to interlock with the hair, creating a secure anchor. The flat side goes on top, which helps to distribute pressure evenly and create a smooth, clean look. When you insert them this way, they hold firm all day. When inserted incorrectly, With the flat side down, they lose their gripping power and slide out easily. It's a subtle design choice that makes all the difference, a secret that hairstylists have known for generations. Number 4. The defensive purpose of paper margins. Those empty white spaces lining the edges of a page in a book or notebook seem obvious to us now, perfect for a teacher's comments or your own notes. But their origin is far more practical and has to do with protecting knowledge from a tiny, persistent enemy: mice. In the days before mass production, paper and books were precious, valuable items. Scribes and scholars would spend countless hours writing and preserving information. But libraries and archives were often plagued by rodents. Mice and other pests developed a taste for paper, but they tended to nibble on the corners and edges of the pages rather than the center. To combat this, bookmakers and paper producers began leaving a wide, empty border around the text. This margin acted as a sacrificial zone. The mice could have their snack without destroying any of the vital, irreplaceable words within. It was a simple, non-lethal defense system for the written word. Over time, people realized this empty space was also incredibly useful for annotations, comments, and doodles, giving rise to the margins we know and use today. Number 3. The secret code of bread tags. That little plastic clip that keeps your bread bag sealed is a more complex piece of technology than it appears. An urban legend has long circulated that the color of the tag corresponds to the day of the week the bread was baked, creating a secret code for freshness. While some bakeries might use such a system, the more common and interesting truth is that the colors are for internal inventory and production tracking. Imagine a massive commercial bakery with multiple production lines running simultaneously. The colors act like team jerseys, helping workers instantly identify which line produced which loaf. Red might be for line 1, blue for line 2, and so on. This helps with quality control and sorting. Some bakeries use colors to distinguish between types of bread at a glance. For example, a red tag for wheat bread and a yellow tag for sourdough, speeding up the process of stocking shelves. The tag itself is an engineering marvel, designed with precise ridges and grooves to grip the plastic bag perfectly. Too loose, and the bread goes stale. Too tight, and the bag tears. It's a tiny piece of plastic that solves a huge logistical puzzle for the baking industry. Number 2. Play-Doh's grimy past. Before it was a beloved, brightly colored modeling compound found in nearly every playroom, Play-Doh had a much dirtier and less glamorous job. It was a wallpaper cleaner. In the 1930s, many homes were heated with coal, which left a persistent layer of black soot and grime on the walls. A Cincinnati-based company created a pliable, putty-like substance designed to be rolled across wallpaper to lift the soot right off. It was essentially a giant, sticky eraser for your house. But as the years went by, people switched to cleaner heating systems like oil and gas, and the demand for wallpaper cleaner plummeted. The company was on the verge of collapse, with warehouses full of a product nobody wanted. The story could have ended there, but a family member of the creator, a schoolteacher, read an article about how children found traditional modeling clay too hard to manipulate. She had an idea. She tested the wallpaper putty with her students, and they absolutely loved it. It was soft, non-toxic, and easy for their little hands to squish and mold. The company pivoted. They removed the cleaning agent from the formula, added vibrant colors and a distinct scent, and rebranded their wallpaper cleaner as Play-Doh. It went from cleaning up coal stains to firing up children's imaginations, becoming one of the most successful toys of all time. Number 1. Converse side holes. Those 2 extra holes on the side of a pair of classic Converse Chuck Taylor sneakers, near the sole, aren't just a quirky design choice. They are a relic of the shoe's original purpose as elite basketball footwear. Back in the early 20th century, basketball was played in hot, stuffy gymnasiums. Players would run and jump for hours, and their feet would sweat profusely. Their canvas shoes would become heavy, waterlogged prisons. The designers at Converse added these two holes to serve as a ventilation system. They acted like tiny windows for the foot, allowing air to circulate and heat and moisture to escape. This natural air conditioning helped keep players' feet cooler and drier, improving comfort and performance. Lighter, drier shoes meant higher jumps and faster cuts. The original U.S. Olympic basketball team even used these shoes, their elite performance depending in part on this simple ventilation feature. Today, while most Converse wearers aren't playing professional basketball, the holes still serve their original function, keeping millions of feet a little more comfortable. Some creative owners have even co-opted them for unique, custom lacing patterns, giving this practical feature a new, fashionable purpose. From the shoes on our feet to the windows of an airplane, our world is filled with thoughtful design that often goes unnoticed. These examples show that even the simplest objects can hold incredible stories of innovation and problem solving. The next time you use one of these items, take a closer look. You might just find a hidden touch of genius. If you found these hidden stories fascinating, subscribe for more deep dives into the world around us.